I put my trust in you, and I trust in love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love. I put my trust in you, and I trust in love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love.
Hello, friends. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain. And we're your fuck buddies.
We are a sex and dating advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Simply put, we find questions either roaming the internet or from the wonderful minds of our wonderful listeners, and we answer them right here, right now, in your ears. Now, Dane, who isn't in the room with us?
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, exactly. He is not in the room with us. He is not holding me and Dane by the scruff of our necks like we are, bold kitties. And he did not make us issue this apology. Dan, if you would like to take it away.
I'm not apologizing.
He's squeezing tighter, Dan.
I don't care. This means something to me. I will stay steadfast, and I will never, for the rest of my life, acknowledge that Hulk Hogan did not die last Monday.
Do you think he did?
Whether I think he did or didn't.
You just will refuse to admit that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. A real Donald Trump approach.
I will from here on out, always refer to Hulk Hogan as if he is passed.
Wait, it worked. It made him vanish.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a Back to the Future sort of like situation.
Yeah, it's true. Are you ready for some... What are we talking about this week? I think we're going to talk about waking up to your girlfriend pouring water in your ears.
Stalking masturbation.
Donating your wedding dress and upsetting your husband.
Erectile terror.
Erectile terror. I love that horror movie. This is by Throre Zasama. I, 23-year-old male, recently awoke to my girlfriend, 23-year-old female, intentionally pouring water in my ears. What's the name of this behavior?
Psychotic.
I love that they put intentionally. Didn't accidentally pour water in my ears.
I get it. It's like, you know what I mean? Like if you're getting ready for your day, like my partner wakes up early.
And pours water?
I sleep in. Well, here's, I'm going to paint a picture. I'm going to paint a scenario, right? Where, they have their laptop on their bedside table and
psychotic.
Maybe, well, usually
what? Nightmare.
Okay, just relax. Hold on. Let me get through this. We're talking about intentional and unintentional water drippings in the ear. So I'm just saying.
Why is the nightmare laptop there?
What do you mean nightmare? What are you talking about?
It's on their bedside table? Their laptop?
They watch TV when they go to bed.
Not great. Not good for sleep hygiene, but whatever. Continue.
Like for whatever reason, maybe they've poured themselves a refreshing glass of water as they wake up and they realize, oh no, I have to reach over Dane to get something. And then, a little bit of water splashes. Mm-hmm. Unintentional.
However.
Upsetting.
However, note the use of the word splash.
Yeah.
Not pour.
But if I woke
Pouring assumes an intentionality.
If I woke up, I was like, why did you pour water in my ear? Like, oh, sorry, baby, it was a mistake. But if this lovely person has like a motherfucking funnel, and it's just like what is that all the context we get? Is this all the question?
There was more and it got deleted. Deleted. But it was too juicy not to bring. And that's all you need.
It's not all I need.
It's all you need.
Is it cold water? Is it hot water? Have you had problems with your ears? Has she been ear fixated before? Like, what's the ear history? Are you Shrek and you need to like pull out, remember that scene where he pulls out the big wax and makes a candle out of it?
Maybe that's it. Maybe did the power go out and she needed a good old head candle? Yeah.
Like, again, this is one of those things where what was your conversation when you woke up and she was just, wasn't the first thing you said is, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Like did you just like get ear waterboarded? And be like, oh, good morning, darling.
What the hell? And then roll over and angrily go back to sleep.
But it doesn't even sound like he says it. He's just like, hi. What
is the name of this behavior? Like, oh, damn, I've missed it so far, but I guess this normal thing finally happened to me. And silly me out of the loop. What is it again?
Yeah. Like, if someone did this to me, if someone poured water on me anywhere while I was sleeping, even if it was just like on my hand or my chest, or like if someone was...
It would get on the bed no matter what, and that sucks.
That's what I mean. It's like, I don't want to be wet when I'm sleeping.
Let's be fair. If somebody woke me up, again, without a good reason, I'd be like, no.
Don't do this.
This sucks.
Yeah,
I need my sleep.
Yeah, even if you like poured sand or a thing of feathers on me, whatever. Like
sand would be terrible.
That's what I mean. It's like nothing. I don't think there's anything I would want poured on me.
Orgasm.
While I'm sleeping. You can't pour an orgasm.
While I'm sleeping, I can't consent, can I?
Porgasm. That's when rich people drive through a poor neighborhood and they just be like,
they jizz into their martini glass. Yeah. Assholes. Eat the fucking rich.
Eat the rich. I mean, like, look, dude, I can't.
Oh, wait, we've been deplatformed. Shit.
We're gonna go pirate radio style.
Yeah.
There's
okay. We said something earlier, like, oh, what do you have an ear thing or whatever? It doesn't matter if you haven't consented to this. You know what I mean? Like, if someone just decides to medically treat you, if that's what's happening here, which may not be the case, you need consent. And if you have consented, while you're asleep isn't the time.
Also, like, water in the ear is not great.
No, it's bad for you.
It's not good for you.
Yeah, also, what if it wasn't water?
What if it was pee?
What if it was piss?
What if it was piss?
Could be piss ears.
What if she just filled a fucking pitcher of piss?
You know, like, what we don't realize is later on in the day, they were going to all hang out with all their friends. And at one point in the day, they said something, and the girlfriend turned around and goes, yeah, piss ears? And everyone was like, oh, and she was just, that's it. She was asserting dominance. Yeah. She's done it.
She just really wanted to call you piss ears.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
It is. Thank you. This is bad. It's bad. There's no part of this.
But
that's
again, I want to reiterate.
You need to get an explanation.
I gotta reiterate. And I think I freaked out about this recently. When your partner does something, do you not ask, what are you doing? Right, like I don't
know. Just poured water, I guess.
If my partner was just fucking funneling water into my ear while I was sleeping and I woke up, the first question would be like, what the fuck are you doing? And if they were just like, hee and wandered off, I'd be like, no. Yeah. You do need to tell me what you were doing. Like, what? And just like, do they refuse to ask?
That's bad.
Like,
that's scary.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. And if they do answer, it has to be the best fucking excuse ever. And even then, no,
I walked in and your ear was fire.
It was on fire.
It was on fire, and it was the only way. Like inside your ear was on fire.
And yes, maybe I shouldn't have gone to get the funnel, and maybe I shouldn't have like heated up the water a little bit just so it didn't wake you up. But I did put out the fire. Eventually, it's bad. People fucking with your sleep and doing things to you without your consent is not good ever, even if you're in a relationship. You can't just be like, huh, weird, I guess. You can have boundaries.
And also have the fucking balls. I don't like saying it because that's gendered. No. But
have the orbs.
Have the
magical orbs to
have the gender neutral orbs to ask your partner and like confront them when they do weird things. Yeah. And things that upset you. Have the fucking gumption to be like, hey, we need to talk about this. I didn't like it. And I need an explanation as to why you think this was okay. Mm-hmm. So that you know that in the future, it's not okay.
Yes.
And like, maybe for whatever reason, they think that they need to set boundaries because in a past relationship, they were allowed to do this. I don't know. But like,
maybe it was a fun ear game where they wake up and, you know, when your ear's blocked and it sucks and they're like, oh, you got me. And then they spent the whole day in agony. Yeah. And then spent the rest of their life with inner ear problems. And it was a fun joke they did. But guess what? They
must have girlfriend constantly just falling over and bumping into things.
Maybe that's it. Maybe like she's the typical, like, you know, Twilight protagonist who's like, oh, she's the clumsy girl who's so clumsy and so not pretty, even though everyone's in love with her, of course. And she's like, I've had it being the only clumsy one in this relationship. I'm going to fuck your inner ear right now.
Is that a plot point in Twilight that Bella is clumsy?
All these female love interests are clumsy.
Yes. Oh, okay. Fair. Yeah. I don't read, so.
It's true. Dane still doesn't know the title of the podcast.
Man, I'm winging it. Yeah. Anytime I have a question, I kind of like, you know, in Drumline where the guy doesn't know how to read music, I'm just kind of winging it and hoping.
Yeah, Dane has like kind of figured out the shapes of some words, mainly cum. That's the big one because there's a lot of curves and they're friendly on his stupid eyes.
Yeah, so I just
his brain. His brain's great. His eyes though,
eyes
so dumb.
So dumb. And that's not, I don't want to make anyone feel bad if you have trouble reading. We're not.
Oh no, this is Dana's own specific thing.
This is a whole thing specific to me.
It's not about not being able to see. He can see fine.
Yeah.
His eyes are just dumb.
Next question.
No, this one, Dane has an earpiece in, and we have.
I'm getting someone feed the lines to me.
Yeah.
This is from Horhorosos.
That's not helping defeat the allegations of you being unable to read.
My girlfriend left her stockings. Can I jerk off with them? So basically, we were out on a date and got home. She took off her stockings, put them on the floor, and then we went on about with our evening. Next morning, she was packing and said, will you throw them away for me? I jokingly said, if you leave them, I'm going to use them to jerk off next time I miss you. She asked if I'd actually do that. I thought it through and I said, yes, and she seemed flattered and smiled and told me to have fun giggling. Now I'm here with her used stockings. They smell like her. They're soft, and they are hers. Would it be bad to use them for that purpose? I mean, it is kind of gross, but not going to lie, it sounds fun. And I kind of want to. She said she wouldn't mind, but it's kind of, but it would be really fun. Thoughts?
I love the thought of this man holding the stockings in one hand, probably a hard dick in the middle, and then on the other end, please, Reddit, please. Like, he's so torn. He just like...
It's like a whole Schmeagol situation where he's like,
we what?
Yeah. No, we mustn't.
Like, this question, I had all these answers before it started to get more specific. Thank you for the specificity. Yeah, dude. 1, they're being thrown away. So, whatever.
Yeah.
2, permission.
You asked explicitly, which, hey, this is, I mean, I guess you didn't ask explicitly. You kind of joked.
You told.
you joked and be like, like that's something I'll do. And I think it's a great way to like test the waters for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You toss out a joke and if they seem upset by it, then you're like, but like you got the green light.
Yeah.
She
literally
wants
said,
you,
have fun.
She wants you to do this. And you said that there was also like the positive like body language as well. So I don't even think there's a harm in like letting her know that you did.
No, I don't think so.
Depending on the relationship, maybe even the aftermath of said experience could be kind of hot for them. Mm-hmm. I would say like take a picture and test the waters again if they would like to see. You know what I mean? Like
Maybe you could have it on standby.
That's what I mean.
If they get really into it.
Yeah.
But I also, and maybe this is just me, but just seeing a load on some used stockings doesn't sound hot to me.
Well, that's
not my thing.
Yeah, we're not particularly inclined to enjoy anything with cum.
I enjoy so many things with cum.
Well, I mean, like just
usually my own.
Yeah, cum as an individual.
Yes, cum as a thing. Yes, not the process of me coming.
Yes.
But like again, it's being thrown out.
Yeah.
I think like that is very key to this, right? It's being thrown out. You've been giving consent to have it. You're in a relationship with this person. And on top of that, they seem down with it.
Yeah.
So these are all green flags. If it was like someone you weren't in a relationship left something, was like, oh, just toss it. Again, it's getting tossed, so it's not the worst, but it's still a bit weird.
Yeah, that's
if
the thing.
If it's anything going back to someone, you really need to to be firm on those lines. I think.
I think there is something to be said about like when ownership is transferred. Right? If someone leaves something behind at your place and you're told to discard it, I think that like now that's your property. Right? Like it's in your home. They don't want it back. It's not going back. So I think there is some sort of like, I don't necessarily know. No, I think you still need to get permission.
I think like if it's if it's your friend and you're not in a sexual relationship at all,
yes,
and you do it, it's like, look, no one's probably going to know. Is it morally great? No. Is it going to hurt anybody? No. Like, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
However, if you then tell them, they're going to be like, what the fuck?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't want to say it's good if people don't know about it, but like you're probably okay, but it's weird, right? You know, like it's an icky gray area there.
Yeah,
right?
I think
where there's no victim really, unless you're an asshole, but it's still not great. If it's something that she left that's going to be tossed out and you guys are in a sexual relationship, it's even less of a victim thing. There's less of a gray area, you know? I think this is the best option where you brought it up. They've said yes, you have it. It all seems good. And there's no gray area here.
It seems like it's less of it seems like you're trying to get over a mental hurdle of using what you view as like dirty laundry. It's almost like you have a foot fetish and you don't want to sniff the shoe, even though everyone has like put all the effort into making sure this shoe is the best sniff you'll ever get. Right. Like but it's like, you know that this is a bit taboo or a bit quote unquote weird.
Or you don't like trust that she's actually okay with it because you were joking, which is the danger of joking. And I think, as Dane said, it's a good way to test the water, but it doesn't really count when it comes down to it. It's a step one, right? Whereas like when you're doing something, you can't just go, well, I made a joke and you kind of joked back. it's a good way to test the water, but you then do need to like follow up and actually get, again, this is a very low risk, low impact activity as far as I'm concerned. So I don't think it's, but you can't like joke about choking someone and then be like, and then just fucking go for it.
Yeah.
And I think if you are upset, if you're worried about how this is going to go, maybe you say, still have that stocking and I'm missing you, like wink. And you could play it up again if you feel like you need their permission to do this and that would make you feel better. Or if you feel like you're doing something wrong that they might not be happy with, why not? You know what I mean? That could also be fun, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're turning into them talking and that could be a whole act in and of itself. If not, I think you're fine. I think you're good to go. Because again, this is getting thrown out. It's not going back to them. Is it?
It is when it's rock hard.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say, just on the safety side of things, stockings, I don't care how soft they may feel, they are still a textured material.
You're gonna sandpaper that dick.
Yeah, I would say, you're looking at like a fine grit sandpaper. So, but depending on how long you use it for and how intensely you use it for, you can do you can do some damage.
So be careful.
Especially if you're using it to like wrap around your dick as like a sort of hand stalking dick sort of situation. I would say if you want to like use it as like light touches.
Yeah.
Drape it around, have it nearby, whatever. But I wouldn't use it as the means in which you get friction to pleasure yourself.
Or if you really want to do that, wait till you've got yourself going and maybe use it at the end or something.
Your final touches. Or give yourself use some lotion or something to lubricate. But even then, I would say, like, please don't.
Just be careful about harming your dick.
And when you start feeling discomfort, clock it. No matter how good everything else is feeling, be like, okay, I think I've hit my reach here, and then
now it's just sniffing time.
Yeah, or
which
like,
at that point it's gonna smell like dick.
Leave it draped over the bottom or something, like have it nearby. Like, but yeah, just be careful with it because textured material and penises or any sensitive skin is bad news just waiting to happen.
Yeah, don't make your dick raw. This is Throw RA Hat 7371. My 35-year-old female husband, 34-year-old male, is upset I donated my wedding dress. How to tell him I don't want to be reminded of our wedding? A few months ago, I found out my husband got cold feet at our wedding. We've been married for 9 years, dating for 12. I thought they were happy years. My father-in-law drunkenly admitted my husband had fled the morning of the wedding with the help of his friends. Father-in-law got wind of this and dragged him back and told him to either marry me or tell me he didn't want to, but not to leave me at the altar. He chose to get married. I had no idea about this. My wedding was a very special day. I felt beautiful and extremely happy. I knew my husband was a bit tipsy, but he had reassured me it was just nerves. I felt completely numb. I talked to other members of the family and my husband. He admitted he fled because he's afraid of the future and what ifs. He didn't want to marry me, but he didn't want to embarrass me either. We have a framed picture of me at our wedding before the ceremony. I know now there is no similar picture of my husband because he had left. We also have my wedding dress in the closet. The wedding was one of the few times I felt beautiful. I'm much plainer than his exes, but love made me glow. But now I see just a naive woman. I walk past the wedding picture every day thinking about it. Can't open my closet without seeing the wedding dress in its sealed bag. I tried hiding them, but I kept thinking about it. I didn't want to be reminded, so I threw away the picture. I donated the wedding dress. Some bride will feel absolutely beautiful in it. That gives me happiness. My husband saw the framed picture was missing. I admit I threw it out and donated the wedding dress. He completely shut down. How do I reiterate to him that I don't want any reminders of the wedding? I hope some bride out there will give the dress a new happiness.
This is a conversation. This is so much more than your husband is mad that you threw out a wedding dress. Like,
yes, this is not.
That's a symptom of the disease here. This sucks on sort of like the whole spectrum of both of you guys, because it doesn't necessarily seem like your husband's being an asshole about things. I guess it depends on like how the marriage, like, is it a loveless marriage? Is it a sexless marriage?
They said it was seemingly full of love for 9 years.
Yeah.
So it would be a very different conversation, I think, if they were like, this all fucking sucked and I've had a terrible time. And on top of that, I found this out.
Yeah.
It seems the opposite, where things have been good and this lie has undercut it all. But like, doesn't the 9 years of love prove that the cold feet didn't matter?
I guess from her point of view is she always thought the wedding was this beautiful thing, and now she found out that it wasn't. So maybe now it's bleeding into the marriage of being like, well, I thought the marriage was also this beautiful thing, and maybe it's not.
For sure. So therapy.
I think couples counseling here is, but I think now's correct as well. I think individual therapy as well is going to help.
Sure.
Because I think having someone mediate this kind of stuff, because these are the things where people start saying things they don't mean because they're so upset, right? Like this is the kind of thing.
Well, let's be fair. Like this whole, like, I threw out the photo and I donated the dress. It's like, you knew that would be a knife in his back. Like there's no way you didn't also do this as a fuck you, right?
Yeah.
I understand maybe you're like everything else you're saying is true, but like one, you knew that this would be a wound. And secondly, you're willfully ignoring that fact now and you're like, he's annoyed I donated the dress. You know that's not it. He shut down. Like the guy is being very emotional about this. Obviously, this is not a thing that's surprising to you. So it's like you need to admit to yourself that you did this to hurt him.
Yeah, you were hurt and you wanted to return
Yes.
fire. It seems like,
Yes.
right? And that's the thing is like who we were and who we are and the repercussions and consequences of our actions can come back real quick. As we've seen in this scenario, right, where it's like he had a really rough time with this thing, made a choice. And it seems like hopefully now that he looks back on it now and realizes that he made the right one.
Yeah.
Right. Like if this marriage has been good and happy and he's been a great partner and he's been a good husband, then it does sound like I almost made a big mistake and I didn't. Yeah. And thankfully,
and
here I am.
It's like somebody getting cold feet the day of a very big decision is surely understandable. Right? I would hope you can understand that.
Yes.
I can understand that.
It's a trope for a reason.
People get cold feet in various ways. And I don't know why you would hold that against him. Is your fear that he married you and has been living a lie for 9 years? Because if that's the case, has there been a conversation about that?
I guess for me, the thing that pinged is I married you because I didn't want to embarrass you. That's a hard thing to hear.
Yes.
If someone told me that after 9 years of a relationship, being like, yeah, I went on that date with you because I didn't want to embarrass you by saying
But that's
no.
every rom-com. It's, I started dating you because it was a bet. But now, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think yes, you're 100% right. That's a horrible thing to hear.
Yeah.
But I think what's important is like, that is also a very fair thing to say for that day, right? Like,
yeah.
If it's, I married you because I didn't want to embarrass you and that's the scope of the relationship, awful.
Yes.
If it's like that day while I was in a panic, like the one thing was like, I knew I couldn't hurt you, which is kind of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it isn't like I didn't want to embarrass you in this bigger way. It's just like on that day I couldn't walk out. And then like maybe when they did it, I did make the right choice. I was just freaking out that day, which is understandable. And
yes.
it could be not that. It could be shitty. And it could be like, well, yeah, I did it because I didn't want to embarrass you. And now I'm stuck.
Yeah,
I don't want to
been
divorce
stuck
you.
For 9
and
years.
Now we have kids. Like that could be it. But you need to talk about that and you need to hash it out. And if that's the case, you need to know clearly that that's where you stand and maybe contemplate divorce. But if it is just a momentary stumble and then he said this thing, which obviously hard to hear, but may be honest and not bad.
That's the thing is like, these are the kind of scenarios where the Band-Aids need to get ripped off.
No.
Because if you tiptoe around and like we talk about in a lot of the situations where people are like, they accept the first answer they're given and they're like, okay, but then they continue to spiral and they continue to think, what if? And
because that's the thing, everything unsaid is up to you and you're going to pick worst option.
Well, even just look at like, you couldn't look at your wedding photo. You couldn't look at your wedding dress. And even when you hid them, they were still in the back of your mind. Yeah. And that's what happens when you don't resolve a thing fully. And that's what happens when you, like I said, like take the first sort of like answer as, okay, we've talked about it. We're done. It's like, no, this is kind of like, this is the part of like what makes a relationship a healthy and stable and strong relationship is being like, all right, we have a problem. It's a big problem. And the solution is through like the thorn patch of uncomfortable conversation. Yeah. And we're going to go through and we're going to get our cuts and we're going to get our nicks and our pricks and our scratches. But at the end of it, we're going to be on better pastures, right?
One way or another. And the thing is, this is when you tell them everything you told us. You say, this day was like so nice. I felt beautiful, which obviously your insecurity is playing in here as well, which is a separate issue, right? Yeah. It's the only day I ever felt beautiful. Like,
and then also the comparison to the exes.
Exactly. So there's so much shit on here that's not even to do with that.
Yeah.
But it's all being mixed into this terrible soup. And you need to fucking sort that shit out because you're torturing yourself.
Yeah.
So you need to go through and be like, hey, I felt beautiful. I really like this day. What I found out has undercut this. You know what I mean? And like, is your father-in-law a piece of shit? Or did he say this thinking it was a funny story, knowing how in love his son is with you? You know what I mean? Because those are two very different scenarios. If it's like, I can tell you this because you guys are so strong and like, it doesn't matter, is better than I can tell you this because fuck you.
Yeah.
And I did this to hurt you. You know what I mean? Because like, I think, I almost actually didn't show up for our date that first day because I thought you were kind of weird, but then I did, is like a funny later on story, which you might take badly, but you shouldn't, But you need to tell him, like, hey, I'm worried that, this has undercut that entire day for me, or like, I feel unloved, or now I'm questioning all these 9 years, and he needs to know this shit. And hopefully he will reassure you. But if not, you also need to know that. If he's like, yeah, the thing. These 9 years, it has been a farce. You need to know that. Because you're going to think it regardless, but if you know, you can make decisions.
Yeah.
Instead, you went and you did something that you might regret, but you definitely did something to hurt him. And that's not the fucking way.
Yeah. And now it's like, now you guys are living in this, like the bog of uncertainty and uncomfort and unhappiness. And this like passive aggressive sort of thing. It's like, is he now going to then feel like he needs to return fire in another way to hurt you? And
now he's like, if you want me to talk to my beautiful exes, here I go.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Is like you now get into, like I said, like these are the scenarios where it's so easy to fall into because it hurts so much, and because we're talking about like almost a decade of a relationship where it's so easy to get hurt and then want to do the hurting. Well,
you've also been stewing for so long that you're lashing out, but now you've actively hurt him, so he's going to feel like he can act, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's something to be said about you being upset, but there's something else to be said about intentionally hurting your partner.
Yeah.
Which you've done, and you've done, but you're pretending you don't know you've done. So this is messy, but you need to talk between yourself, rawly, honestly, for your own fucking sake and for theirs.
And you show them this
therapy.
post.
Yes.
Right? Like, just like if you don't have the words, be like, look, here it is.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, I don't know how to get it out. I'm going to have a hard time explaining it to you. This is how I see the situation. Can we talk about it?
Mm-hmm. And be chill too. Be like, look, here's the thing. I'll give you a minute. If you want, you can write a reply or you can take some time.
Yeah.
I just want to get this off my chest because it is poisoning myself and our relationship, I find. And like, don't pressure him, don't attack him, but let him read it and let him, come back with a response. Maybe he'll be aggressive and shitty. People do that in arguments, you know what I mean? Hopefully he won't. But you need to try to stop this from turning into a clash and a fight and try to actually move forward. But divorce is always an option, It
is. And like, you need to also be firm in your decision.
Yes.
If his explanation isn't good enough for you, then don't try to force it so that the relationship is good enough for you and stay in it and feel miserable this whole time. Because everyone does it. And especially with like almost a decade of a relationship, you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want blah, 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 blah.
But do you want to live in this misery?
That's the thing. It's like you have to make a choice and be like, that isn't a good enough answer for me. I am still very hurt by it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can forgive you. And therefore I need to move on.
But I will say on the flip side, don't just do what's previously happened where you seize on like one thing and you're like, okay, that's not good enough. Like, fuck, like feel free to talk. If someone says something, feel free to talk it out. Make sure, be like, oh, you're really saying this? Like, actually, you know what I mean? Like, don't just make a snap decision based on like a throwaway comment.
That's what I mean. It's like the conversation you're going to have is going to be multiple cuts.
Yes.
You can't have that first like punch in the gut and throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go the full 10 rounds.
Unless that's where you're at with the relationship where you don't care anymore. And if you don't care and you really just want to not put the work in, then just fucking get a divorce, right?
Yeah.
So like, anyway, you've got it, but currently you do not.
No.
Currently you don't have it at all.
Yeah. This is from Delicious Pride. How to go over erection issue fear. I, a 25-year-old, started seeing this girl. Yesterday, I was at her place. We were having wine while listening to some music, and then we went to bed, and I initiated a makeout for a few minutes. She started getting wet, but I wasn't getting horny or erection. She even started touching me with no result. Made me even more anxious. I told her if she can go down on me for less than a minute. Whenever I started feeling, she stops, and then she thought she was the problem. That's a nightmare of a sentence. I have no idea what he's trying to say. I assume
she did.
She started.
Like he was saying, I told her if she did.
Yeah.
But then she was doing it. Very confusing.
Yeah. I'm assuming that she went down on him for a bit and then it wasn't getting up. I was so anxious after this incident and couldn't even sleep. In the morning, she asked how I was and how did I sleep and made me a coffee like nothing happened. I'm muscular and fit, so I have no physical problems. I need your advice. This is driving me crazy and lowering my dignity. I don't have the balls to talk to her again, and I can't miss with her any other chance.
Look, you answered your own question. Anxiety, nerves, anxiety. It's a self-defeating thing where, like, the second you go, wait a minute, I'm not hard, all of a sudden the lack of hardness increases, and then it's like something else happens. Oh no, she touched me and I'm still not hard. And then it's even more anxiety. Yeah. And like that, unfortunately, is a hard pit to dig out of. What you should do in this situation: 1, reassure your partner. 2, focus on her. If you're out of commission for the time being, what better thing to do than to make them come massively? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because 1, she's not going to be thinking about you when she's fucking screaming her mind out, right? 2, you're not going to be thinking about your dick, hopefully, when you're going down on them. And also, it's going to be hot as fuck, which will increase the odds of you getting hard. And 3, if it still doesn't happen, they had a great time. Yeah. So it's a win-win, right? Like you're giving yourself a break. You're taking the attention off you. You're doing something to get your mind off the anxiety. You're doing something hot, increasing the chances you do get hard. And if all else fails, it doesn't matter because they had a great fucking time. And then you just say, I don't know what's going on. I think it was a little bit of nerves, but I hope you had fun. And hey, next time, wink.
Yeah, I mean, like the problem with this is, and we've talked about it before, of the like the worst thing that happens is when it happens the first time or once. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because then for the rest of your life, it's in the back of your head being like, I hope I can get hard this time. Yeah, I hope whatever, blah, blah. And like the more it's important to you, if you have a big date with a hot person or someone that you really
the time it's most
you're gonna do it. And it's like, or if it happens with one person, like you could fuck 80 other people, no problem. But because it happened with that one person, like now you're gonna be so in your head about it and be like, So I was reading this thing because I was interested because we've talked about this a lot. We've had this conversation a lot. And there's some suggestions that people have brought up are getting a pill for erectile dysfunction. There are a bunch now that have like very specific purposes. Like there are ones that are meant to be taken like and last like a couple days or a full day. And it's more like in case it happens. Then there are some pills that are meant for like, oh, I'm about to fuck or we're planning on fucking. So I'm going to take this 2 hours before or whatever. And then there are ones that are like, you take like, and they last for like 3 days. And again, it's meant to just be like
it's like a blood flow, whatever. Yeah. But like, what if, because you know the way this presumably is like a one-off. What if you have a normal boner, but you've also taken that pill? Does your dick explode?
I don't think it explodes.
But you don't know.
No.
What if normal boner pill, dick explode? Question mark?
I'm not
gonna look it up because we don't get time for that.
So it's like some situations have been like a way that, like, again, because this is such a mind thing, is that people have suggested that like, oh, you take one of those ones that are like
mind so that the pill will do it for you. And then hopefully the next time, because you've done. Now the worry is you're like, what if I don't have the pill?
Well, that's the thing is like the downside is like that you feel like you've become dependent on an extra aid. Now, you also should, talk to a doctor about this first. Mm-hmm. You should, follow all the safety regulations and stuff. Well, it's also like, because it is a blood thing, it's like you need to make sure that you have like a proper blood pressure for it, right?
You're really going to hit me with that after I try to make a fun dick exploding joke?
Another fun dick exploding joke?
Rule of threes.
So
don't make your dick explode.
There you go. Don't make your dick explode.
Hilarious. You just turned into 4.
Better than the third time. So like maybe consider that. And there's also like there's a bunch of, at least in Canada, there's a bunch of ways to discreetly get like these pills. I don't want to list any of them because one, they're not paying us.
Creepy convenience store that has the thing that says it'll make your dick explode, but in a good way.
Yeah,
just get that.
The Rhino
Black Cat explosion missile waterfall.
Yeah. No, again, it's like, one, they're not paying us and I'm not advertising for them. No. And 2, I don't know the legitimacy of all of them. So I don't want to like send people incorrectly without doing my due diligence.
But if you do want to pay us to advertise you, not necessarily you, but people in general, hit us up.
Yeah.
We got you.
We'll advertise anything for money.
We won't.
Anything. There was a while where I didn't realize this, but our host Podbean allows you to like dynamically insert ads, but you don't really get a choice.
What were we advertising?
Like weird shit, man.
We were getting money.
We were getting like not much, but yeah, we were like, but it was so terrible, and they were all like AI read voice, like
God.
Yeah. So I completely forgot about that right now. So it's like, I'm sorry if you ever heard any of those.
I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah.
But I know other podcasts have been like, oh, apparently it's just been all like betting or like right-wing ads. And they were like, fuck no.
It's a lot of gambling. It's a lot of like, because of the nature of our show, men's health stuff. Yeah. So I remember like going there and being like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, hello, you have been in a boom.
Oh, God.
And I'm just like, oh, what is this?
We're like, yo, fuck Andrew Tate. And then it's like ad break. So, welcome to Andrew Tate's brand new casino.
University or whatever the fuck it's called.
What a fucking loser. All right. This is by a deleted user. Why would a man spend a long time in a public bathroom on a date?
Look.
Why?
As a man with tummy troubles, do you think I want to be in there for a long time? Do you think I'm not literally sweating, looking at the clock as each minute passes by and my tummy's like, not done yet. We still hurt. We still have things to do. No, I don't want to do it. What do you think? I'm not in there jerking it.
That's the thing. What do you think is happening?
We're pooping.
He's pooping or he's peeing or he's nervous and it's like, I don't know, or he's not.
I mean, I guess technically, like, he could be on his phone.
He could be on his
doing
phone.
weird things, but like,
if he is on his phone doing weird things, does that matter unless he's also weird? Like, if everything else is fine, you'll figure that out eventually if he's a big fucking weirdo. But I think you can have the grace to be like, people sometimes go to the bathroom for a little bit of time and it makes sense. Now, the thing is, the context is deleted, but I remember some of it. And one of the things was, I've read before that like men like to have solitary time in the bathroom, you know, to calm themselves or whatever. But that is exclusively a thing for men with like families who are like, because people always post about being like, oh, when I'm sitting on the toilet, it's my only moment of peace because I have 3 kids and a wife and I hate my life. And it's like, why would you think that's applying right now? You're having on a date and he's like, fuck, man, I need a break. I need 10 minutes to myself.
I mean, are you insufferable?
Are you insufferable? Are you also 3 kids?
Because I've been on some dates where I've been like, I gotta reevaluate. I gotta go to the old drawing board back here and figure out what the fuck I'm doing.
If you went in after him, there's like marker on the wall and it's just all the pros
just a beautiful
and cons.
mind, like, trying to figure out how to get out of this. I've definitely been on dates where I've needed a breather.
I don't think I have been.
Not many, but
if there is, it's like I knew it wouldn't get better by me being in the toilet. It's like it had to be a thing I saw through, and like delaying it wasn't good, and I would feel awkward sitting in the toilet for that long, which would make it worse for me.
Yeah, fair.
You know. So it was either a let's just get out of here situation or a I'm not going to make it worse by postponing it. You know?
Did you guys have like a milk chugging contest before?
Yeah, maybe
you came out because
did you eat just nothing but
heavy cream,
spicy food? Sometimes people got poop. Maybe
you got like a spicy Alfredo Mexican dish
from Taco Bell.
Yeah. Taco Bell's new Italian crossover menu.
Yeah, while eating nothing but espresso martinis. What if he thinks the date's going so well that he has poop fear in your place or his place?
Yeah.
So he wants to get it all out before he goes home and rocks your world.
Every drop. I was going to say crumb.
Maybe he loves to get pegged and he's out there douching.
Maybe. Look, the man's pooping. Leave him alone.
Who cares?
I will say there is an extent of time that I do think this question becomes valid. If he's gone for like 10, 15, 20 plus minutes, I think at that point in time, there's a,
did he walk out on me? Yes.
And there's also I hope he's all right. I think there's like a cause for concern.
I think, unfortunately there does become a point where you text him and say, you good?
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Oh, I would die in that bathroom. If I was on a date and I was pooping so long that my date had to text me like, "Hey, are you okay?"
So you know what?
I wouldn't be. I would
make it better for me.
I would flush myself down the toilet like that fucking scene in Trainspotting. I would just climb into the toilet and I would live in the sewers forever.
No, that would make it so much better for me because after 10 minutes, it's weird. It's bad.
It's weird. The text that says no.
Yeah. No, but like you just go, my stomach is fucked. I'm so sorry. And then it's fine, right? Like who cares if you're pooping? It's worse if it goes unsaid. Like if they don't say anything, because you don't want to message them and be like, I'm doing bad poops, right?
Sorry, toilet crimes are happening.
Yeah. Actually, that'd be a pretty good text. But like if they message you and you can be like, I'm so sorry, my tummy's fucked. Like that's fine actually to me. And then you come back and you go, that was embarrassing. That was awful. How are you doing? And you can kind of get the ball rolling again. Whereas like if no
Taking
one
any good
says
shits lately?
imagine if no one says anything and you come back after 22 minutes and you just have to like, because then the burden of breaking the ice is on you and you're like, I did bad poops.
Yeah.
I did do them. They were done. The toilet's full. I filled it up.
You know what I would do? I would trash that bathroom and be like, "Hey, be careful! Don't go in the second stall because, like, if they're shared bathrooms,
God, that's a nightmare.
yeah, she comes in.
She comes in mid-
second you're leaving,
She comes in and says it. Are you good? And you're like,
yeah,
that's bad. The text is fine. It also gives me something to do, right?
it's not fine.
It's fine.
I
You
don't.
would prefer to have no text?
If
You would come out after 20 minutes
anytime,
of dead air.
anytime anyone asks me if I'm okay, parents, friends, I die.
Are you okay?
I die while I'm pooping. I'm not pooping right now. Like if I was in the bathroom for enough
I don't
time.
think I've ever texted you to say if you're okay while you're in the bathroom.
No,
Okay.
and that's why
'Cause I
I'm
don't
still.
fucking
That's why I'm
care.
still here.
I don't fucking
That's
care.
why
I just
I'm
want you to
corporeal.
know. I don't give a shit.
In Mental Health Month.
I hope you go in there and
Never text your male friends if they're okay.
Never. Yeah, that is we stand behind that message. No, I've texted you saying, are you okay? And other times, just
Yeah.
never while you're in the bathroom.
No,
Because I don't care, Dane. I don't give a shit what you're going through.
because you know I'm not.
Yeah, no.
you
it's
know
fine.
if I'm in there
That's
that
fair.
long, I'm not okay. I'm working through them.
That's the
some
thing. I don't
things.
care. I'm good. I'll wait.
Yeah.
But I think that's the best way to do it. Is you got to text them after 10 minutes, not before 10 minutes. When it hits minute 12,
I can't support.
you
this.
text them. You say, "Are you all good?" Because what if they pooped in a way? What if they have no toilet roll? And you could be the one to tell someone to bring in toilet roll, or you bring in the toilet
I'm
roll
sorry.
or something.
Do you think that's a better scenario? That your date has to be like, "Hey, excuse me, bartender. my date is shitting himself so thoroughly that he needs more toilet paper."
Would you prefer to have no toilet paper and just do what? Raw?
Do you
like,
think?
wet butt
Do you
it
think?
out of there?
Do you think my life? I don't immediately check.
What if you can't check?
What do you mean?
What if you need to poop? And it's happening.
No, I always
It's
need to
happening.
poop.
What's happening that exact second?
I will.
Or you sit down and you think, okay, it's enough, but then
It's not enough.
It's not enough, right? Or there was like a decoy thing, and when you pull it down, it's already been pre-pooped on for you, and you can't use it.
Ah, damn it! I hate when people pre-poop on the
Yeah.
toilet paper.
It's a trick and double.
I want to apologize to my partner who vehemently hates poop stuff.
Oh yeah, no. I also find it funny because I'm like looking at the time, being like, do we need another question? Do we? And then we just talked for 10 minutes about shit. So
Sorry, baby.
yeah, it's okay.
And to the rest of you, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Because I know you were busting a gut
Yeah,
so hard that you had to go poop for 10 minutes.
you got Dane's hot brown stuff in your mind right now.
Come on. That's terrible. I don't like that at all.
You brought it up.
I don't want people to think about my hot brown stuff in their head.
Well, maybe don't pour it in their ears when they sleep. Then. This has been us, and we have been yours.
Yeah.
And we love you. If you want to support us, please go over to our Patreon. Join up. We got directed, focused, laser-guided episodes on specific topics, such as breaking up with people or being broken up with.
And every episode, we have a special cut where we've taken out all references of poop.
Yeah, it's true. There's no poop allowed.
That's why there isn't a single episode up there. You will not.
Until we do the anal episode, we won't talk about poop. So please support us because one, you get more stuff.
That's a bold claim.
And it's a lie also. And two, we get to keep doing the show and not drive ourselves into the ground. Speaking of mental health month, the more money we have to keep ourselves doing the show, the better our mental health is.
It's true.
If you don't have the money to support us, or if you don't want to in that way, you can review us 5 stars everywhere. Find a new place today if you've already done it. There's got to be one out there.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Force a friend. To
I
listen.
promise you have a friend who needs to listen to this show.
Yeah, for sure.
I guarantee you.
And we love you. And thank you, Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities, for the song Paper Stars. Are you going to get comfortable for me, Dave?
The chair is way too squeaky for that.
That's
these
fair.
days.
Just pretend.
Ugh.
He did it. This is a book on Amazon called Puck Drop, a dark reverse harem hockey mafia romance.
Ooh.
Revenge is pucking sweet. Fuck yeah. Nailed the landing on that
Yeah.
one. Until the blood won't wash off my hands, my enemies want their own retribution. I can only evade them for so long before they take a shot. Hell yeah, second hockey reference. The head coach of the Dusk Bay Demons, the hockey team with everything to prove, won't let them near me. Who will he allow? The equipment manager, who's the calm to his storm, and the defenseman, whose heart is as dark as he is skilled with his stick. My guys want to convince our enemies I wasn't in the game, but that means sacrificing one of them instead. Can I sit out when I have everything to lose, or will the horn call time on our relationship first? This is an interconnected, standalone, hockey, mafia, RH, poly romance. Don't know what RH means, so sorry if that's a slur or something.
Reverse harem, I believe.
Oh, probably. We're all good.
I couldn't tell you what the plot of this book is.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think she killed a bunch of people and then was like, oh, fuck.
And now
then
a hockey team
was like, we got you. And they're like, dude, she's not even killing people. And they're like, fine, we want to kill your equipment manager instead. And she's like, shit, I want to fuck him, though.
But also this dark defenseman also.
Yeah, he's going to be fine.
I mean, like the poly, he's in there as well.
Oh, yeah, she's going to be banging all the dudes. And fair play.
Is that what reverse harem is?
Yes.
Where she has
a harem of boys.
I mean, that's still...
It's just a harem.
That's just a harem, yeah. This is like almost like a reverse racism sort of situation.
Reverse harem would be she's a lot of people. She is so many people.
Yeah, she's multiple people. Yeah. This is... I need to read this at least 4 more times, so I'm going to head out. My name is Dave Miller.
And I am Niall Spain.
And we have been your fuck buddies.